Hi, I'm typo negative keyboardist Josh Silver, and I look like him today. It bothers me.
You do, but like it's a look. It's not a bad
Uh,
look.
I don't know.
It's not a
I'm
bad. And I'm
yeah,
the E. coli queen.
yes. So
Yes.
welcome to our show. Oh boy, it's good I noticed that. I would hate to have the fucking thing die in the middle of recording.
Yep. Been there.
I just noticed it wasn't plugged in.
You
So
did. Good job.
yeah, that would have been fun. Um, yeah.
Mm.
So also trying very hard to not do a fucking camera angle that gives me a double chin. So
Yeah. Here, I'll give myself one so you don't feel alone.
yeah, well. Anyway, everybody, hi, welcome to our joy and just
Yes.
spectacular adventure that is
Spectacular, spectacular.
yes,
Yeah.
Charles and Chelsea's cinematic autopsy. Yep.
Woo, that's Chelsea. I'm Charles, and
Yeah.
uh, yeah, lots of big changes going on in everyone's lives. I hope everyone's doing okay.
Yeah. Well,
Except for my enemies.
hopefully other people are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, we're covering Anna and the Apocalypse this week, a Scottish zombie musical.
Which I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I've said last time that I really don't like most of the songs.
Really, I think I'm madly in love with this movie and I downloaded the whole album already.
Um, you know what I think the problem is? I think the problem is that like so many of the earlier music like rock operas that we like were done by
Mhm.
more like rock musician types, and this was definitely theater kids.
Yes, this is
This is
definitely theater. That's why I love it
yeah.
so
Yeah,
much.
this is 100% theater kids. Like
This
this
is a
is
musical. This is a
yes.
musical.
Yes, this is,
Yes.
this is basically what happens when like to me at times it reminded me of Glee or something. Like it
Yeah, you know what it is it reminded me, it's very reminiscent of Spring Awakening, that musical,
I
like
don't know what that
everything
is. Yeah.
about it. Well, it's a book from Germany from like the 1800s, and then it was
Yeah.
a Tony Award-winning musical starring Jonathan Groff, Leah Michelle, and speaking of Glee, Leah Michelle was in Spring Awakening, and then John Gallagher Jr. on
Hmm.
Broadway in 2012. So I think they took a lot of tropes from. I mean, there's no zombies in Spring
Yeah.
Awakening, but I think they took a lot of tropes about from that
Yeah.
and put it into this.
Uh-oh, why am I
Uh-oh,
hearing
why am I
myself?
hearing myself? I'm right here.
No, I'm hearing myself.
Well, that's not
Okay.
ideal.
Okay, good. Now I'm not anymore. Good. That's
Jeez Louise.
yeah, no, I don't know. Like there's just something when you're podcasting and you hear yourself, it just is awful.
No, it's
um
weird. Your
yeah.
voice.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing. So this was actually the concept of a guy named Ryan McHenry, and he actually wrote and directed the original short this was based on
Okay.
at Edinburgh College of Art. He made a basically something called Zombie Musical, and he made this, and it got a bunch of a bunch of awards and stuff, and it did really good. And then Black Camel, which was a Glasgow-based production company, expressed interest in making it a feature-length film.
Hmm.
And so it started in 2013. Um, when they started when they started shooting it, but then unfortunately he got bone cancer,
No.
and they stopped working on it for a few years and then started again 2 years later when he went into remission. Um, but then he died. He died from bone cancer. He died at 27, and the film actually the people that he brought in decided to keep going. After he had passed away, and as a tribute to him, and it came out 2 years after he had passed away.
Well,
Yeah, but but yeah, like that was it's kind of sad that the guy whose idea it was never actually got a chance to see it.
That happens a lot. Like Jonathan Larson died of AIDS before Rent came out. He wrote half the
Hmm.
music. Yeah.
And it really is like a theater kid type thing, I guess, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Mm.
I very much enjoyed this to the point where like like Veronica Vale Duffy is perfect for the role of Steph. You
Yeah.
know, like she's like I just kept like casting it in my own head, and it was just really fun. And I was like, Charles is savage,
Well,
obviously.
yes, obviously. you know, which is funny because his was the one song I really liked.
I
Um,
know. I wrote in my notes. I was like, here's the villain song. Charles will talk about this song.
yes. Also, because I think he's the only one who can't traditionally sing.
Yeah,
And I think
they're
when we
really good
watch
singers.
when we watch like Rocky Horror and even Jesus Christ Superstar, most of them are not good singers, like from a traditional,
These are musical
standpoint.
theater kids. Yeah,
Yeah. These are musical theater kids. These are fully, they know their
these are
music
my
theory. They're
people.
yeah,
These are my people.
yeah, But
My nipples were hard the whole time. Some not
yeah,
great acting though, I gotta say.
yeah.
Um, was not. I would not have directed John like that. I don't think. I don't know,
Yeah.
but he was really my only issue.
Yeah. Well, I figure like, I mean it's also very Scottish. It's incredibly Scottish.
It's very Scottish, yes, it
Yeah.
is.
You
But it's also
know.
so fucking witty. Like I laughed and cried at the same time. I'm going through a lot in my personal life, so like the
Yeah.
first song, I was just like, "This is so stupid. Why am I crying?"
Yeah, like it's so let's go into it. And you know what? Like I remember watching it and when the first song played, I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to hate this. I'm going to hate this fucking movie." and then like I was happy that it was as dark as it gets.
Yeah, it was incredibly violent.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but also the fact that like one of my big problems with Zombieland, for example, no one's ever
Yeah,
in danger in that film.
I know.
The
Yeah,
main
everyone's
ca-
different here. Yes.
yeah, the main characters go to a fucking amusement park and are able to kill like fucking, 500 zombies by themselves.
I don't know.
And
Bill Murray's in danger.
well, that's because he gets shot by a human, you know. Spoiler for Zombieland. But I guess I'll mark that on YouTube with a spoiler for Zombieland on it. But like no one's in danger in that film. In this one, everyone was in danger.
Yeah, lots of close calls.
You literally have no idea what character is going to survive except Anna, and even at the end, you think, well, maybe Anna won't survive the end of this.
Yeah, no, I have thought that they were all going to wind up dead and Steph would go, spoiler, be the only one who made it out alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the part that when I really started to pay attention, like the first time I watched it, was when John died.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
John,
was like, wow, they killed him early.
yeah, because John is not a character that would typically die in a movie like this.
No, no, in a movie like this, you expect him and Anna to work it out and she falls in love with him or something like he
Yeah,
always wanted.
yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, he's okay, who's next?
yeah. So, once John dies, you kind of realize, oh shit, no one's safe at this point.
It's true. It's true. And what's great about this movie, no, what's nauseating about this movie is it all exists around Christmas.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, then
It's
let's
so
start
Christmassy.
because we get some happy Christmas music at the beginning, which I know so little about pop music that I'm like, is that Mariah Carey or did they write this for the movie? And I guess they wrote it for the movie, but
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
yeah,
so there's some cheery as fuck Christmas music, and I love how it gets really like dark when the title card comes on.
yeah.
Yeah, makes me happy.
And
Um,
so we see a girl in a car with her dad, and I thought John was her brother at first.
I did too. I wrote brother, boyfriend, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And this is when this is my least favorite John scene. I just am like, why'd they cast this actor?
Hmm.
Sorry to you, actor. You got better.
Yeah.
Respect. Um, but oh god, I feel bad talking shit about anyone. Um, I've turned a new leaf. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a fucking asshole. But yeah, and he spills the beans that she wants to go to Australia and she's not going to go to university right away.
Yeah.
And the dad's not happy about it, and their mom is dead.
Yeah.
That's what we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Well, because he asked if she's got tickets for tonight, and she says that
Oh,
she
it's a Christmas
doesn't.
show.
Yeah, because there's a Christmas show, and she's like she doesn't because she's working at
Yeah.
a bowling alley. Which I'll be honest, I had no idea Scotland had bowling alleys.
I think a lot of like bowling's been around for forever.
I know, but I figured I don't know, for some reason it just seems so American that I was
I
very
went
surprised.
bowling. I went bowling in Greece.
Hmm.
So weird. Yeah. People
Yeah,
love to get Kirker, you get it. Yeah, she digging on the beanbag.
you
Um,
know,
mm,
but and her dad basically also seems to be very like gun shy after his wife died because his big
yeah.
concern seems to be that she's going to get like murdered or whatever if she goes to
Did we find
Australia
out
or
how the mom died?
um I don't I it might be later on. I didn't if it's
I
later
don't
on I
think
made a
so.
note of it.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
But you know uh and then we of course we go to a blonde person who is Steph. You
Her
know,
parents are in Mexico,
yeah.
and she's just terrible. So she's like
Yeah, and
collecting
they
shit from
left
the
her.
homeless.
They left her in
Yeah.
Scotland and went to
They left
Mexico
her in
without her.
Scotland. Yeah, it's such a fucked up thing. So she's got shit parents, so she tries to take care of people who are more in need in order to not deal with her own trauma, which we've all been there.
Yeah,
And the so yeah, she's collecting presents that John knocks over
for the
for the
homeless. Yeah,
homeless.
yeah,
And then we meet Savage, Arthur Savage, who fucking sucks.
yeah.
um yeah. Oh, we also see we see the worst snow in any movie ever. Can't forget about that. I was like, what even is that? I don't
Hmm.
like I don't even know what that is. Um yeah, she has her ticket for Australia in her locker, which is not a safe place to put it. Kids can break into lockers. Like come unless
Yeah.
Scotland has like impenetrable lockers, which I don't think they do.
Well, especially if it's Glasgow, because Glasgow is typically like a rough kind of area.
Is it? I don't know that.
Yeah, yeah. It's no. I mean, the Glasgow smile is when someone cuts your mouth like that.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it's
no,
kind of
what the fuck?
a rough place. It's how we got
I always
Nikki
think of that
Cross.
as the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, no. So we meet Mr. Savage, yeah, who is so he's a teacher right now, but he's going to become the headmaster.
yes.
Yeah, because the
Yes.
current headmaster is retiring,
And he hates Anna's father, who works there too,
who's a janitor, yeah.
who's a janitor. He fucking hates him. And I'm like, why? Like, that's another question. Like, how did the mom die? And also, why does Savage hate her father so much?
I
Like, I don't know.
assume, I mean, this is just my like take on it. And I have not seen the extended version. There's actually the longer version of the film that has one more song I know.
Yeah, if you have AMC Plus, you can watch that, which
Yeah,
I do not.
yeah, that version is 148 minutes long.
Yes. I
And
liked this movie so much I bought it.
yeah, you bought the 133 version?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you should have just gone for the
They don't let
extended.
on Prime, they don't let you. They
Oh
don't let you
wow,
no, you have to
really?
have AMC Plus,
Oh
so it's good
wow.
that it's good we picked this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, I know apparently from what I read, Savage is even more of a sadist in
In
the
the extended.
they cut a bunch of his stuff in this version.
Oh, weird. He's
Yeah.
really talented. Like he plays like the actor does it so well.
Yeah.
I love when he's mad that yeah, he's mad
But
that Mr. Gill's gonna leave. And I like when he says, withdraw your tongues to people kissing. It's funny.
yeah. Well, what I was gonna say was that I get the feeling that when they were young, they knew each other. And
Yeah,
probably Savage was nowhere near as cool as the dad was.
that makes sense. Like he bullied him or something.
It
I don't
really
know.
seemed like I mean, especially when you listen to the lyrics of his song, you get the feeling that like he's a super like like suppressed and and probably
Yeah.
got picked on a lot when he was a kid, and now he's taking it out on all the kids today.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, but you get this first song, and it's basically it's a trio between Steph, Anna, and John about how they really just want to get the fuck out of their terrible situations. John is in love
Mm-hmm.
with Anna. You find out Steph is trying to help more people. Someone rejects her for hanging out on Christmas, so she's alone. So she's figuring out like a soup kitchen to
Mm-hmm.
help out at. John is wallowing in self pity, and Anna wants to get to Australia. Go ahead, Peanut. Go ahead.
And we
Go ahead.
also there's also mention of Steph's girlfriend being on
Yes.
vacation as well.
Yeah, and then you never hear about Steph's girlfriend again.
Yeah, she gets
Yeah.
mentioned like twice, and then
Oh,
then
she
that's
does?
it. Yeah, I wonder if there was anything from her in the longer version of the film.
Oh, probably. And then we
Yeah.
meet Lisa next, who's in rehearsal for this Christmas show that Savage is directing really, really poorly.
Hmm.
He's just like he's every actor's nightmare as as a director, I
Actually,
think.
actually, I have to admit, actually, Lisa's song I also loved, just with the ridiculous innuendo later on in the
Lisa's
Christmas
song was
one.
incredible.
The basically just
Lisa's
"fuck me, Santa" song.
Yes. No, I have a special song for Santa. I was like, it's gonna be Santa Baby or something like that. And I was like, nope, this she wants to, just destroy and ravage Santa Claus.
Yeah,
This is I'm like, okay, that's the part I'd want to play now.
yeah,
Like, I don't know.
yeah.
I
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say, so who are you casting as Lisa since you were
I
casting it?
I didn't put myself in it at all.
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
who are you
I didn't.
casting as Lisa?
Oh, I hadn't gotten that far. I really just wanted Veronica and you. That's
Okay,
pretty much, yeah, yeah.
okay.
I
A
did not
two
get that far.
the two-person version of Out in the Apocalypse.
You guys could do it. Of course you could. I have no doubt.
See,
Yeah,
now I'm
no,
just
instead
now
of casting it, it's just you two.
I was just gonna imagine like they just use a lot of green screen, and so I'm both the dad and John in
Yes,
the car.
yes.
Um,
That's I
but with
mean,
like
don't spoil my creative vision. I'm directing this.
with like different hair depending on which one I have.
Love it. I love it. Yes, it's great. I want you to have a mohawk as the dad. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you for yes. Oh,
Yeah.
so then we meet Lisa. I love she's talking to Anna. And I love what she said. What do you think of the set? And she says like Narnia threw up over Oz. I thought that was hilarious.
And she's like,
So
"Oh, thank you."
thank you. It's so funny. Savage is like, hand sanitizer your friend, kissing on the mouth is not your friend. The Star of David falls and swings down, and it's just really funny how like
Chekhov's Star of David.
what?
Chekhov's Star of
Yes,
Bethlehem,
yes, yes,
basically. You
yes,
know?
yes.
Because it
I know. I
almost hit Savage.
almost said Savage. Yes,
Yes.
we would have had a different movie. Peanut,
Yeah.
you look depressed. Mommy's okay. Okay. The so I love that you see. Oh, there are
Oh my
penguins.
God. I wrote, I imagine Chelsea will love this music.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I did. Like,
Right,
I'm
right,
gonna.
yeah, right after it's like Narnia threw up on Oz, I wrote, I imagine Chelsea will love the music.
Yeah, I do. I do. Like, and part of the reason I bought it is so that, like, when I go to the Berkshires, I can watch my mom watch it.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
think that she'll love it too. I've already like called 4 people. It was like, you gotta watch this zombie musical. So good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's someone wheezing, and it's like your first little jump scare potential moment, but it's a girl with with an inhaler. And
yeah,
it's just, I love all of these things. She gets hit in the head by some jock, and then we meet Nick,
yeah,
who is an ex or someone who she obviously slept with
yeah.
at some point, and she calls her she calls him a child, and he says a sexy child, and I love it. He's like, wait, no, like, like I shouldn't have said that. It's really, really funny.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
then
Then we
he
wind
asks
up
if
at the
she
lunch
wants to
room.
hook up for the holidays too.
Oh, hook up for the holidays, and her father's right there.
Yeah,
Not cool, bro.
yeah.
Not cool. Um,
And Lisa's comment about Nick, he's got a body you
oh
can lick
no, what did I
chocolate
just?
off.
What? What'd you say?
Lisa's comment about Nick that he's got a body you could lick chocolate off.
Oh yeah. You know what? In my head, I didn't even write that down because I was like, I bet Charles will write that down.
Yeah.
We're starting to read each other's minds. It's a problem.
Mm.
Um, yes. So Anna walks away. We're in the lunchroom again. I love when she says when Lisa complains about Henry Lee not being able to break dance. We never meet him. We never meet this Henry Lee, and he's not able to break dance because he has a prosthetic. Anna says,
Yes.
and then she says, yeah, and he only has one leg. Like it's just really funny. It's so witty. It's so funny. So then we meet Chris, who is Lisa's boyfriend, and they're making out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Steph shows up to ask Chris to film something because in an earlier scene, her teacher was just like, "Chris, you're not making anything real. You need to make something that matters."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is just like not a great way to like help young talented artists.
Teachers say that sort of shit all the time, though.
Yeah. Oh well, I had so many of those in college.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, crazy. But
I, on the other hand, was like, in college, I was unbearable in college.
I
And
believe
I
it.
mean, what, like, and I don't mean that in like, insane, like, violent rock star Charles. I was like, in that, like, I'm an artist, like, full,
Oh God, I
you
feel like it's
know,
worse.
where it's like, we're doing like a fucking short film for like a project, and I'm like, I can't use stage blood. That would be a lie. I have to go to the butcher shop and get like a gallon of cows. Like I was that annoying.
It explains a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
like, no, it's your artistic vision.
And I remember I had this Israeli professor in my film class, and he said so many things that stuck with me. Not that like lessons, but just little like things where he would like, Charles, please don't make my studio smell. When I was like going to like buy the gallon of blood and everything, and or his the one time that we had spent an hour arranging the lighting, and then the fucking talent just switched places, and I
Mm.
exploded on them. And I've said this sentence several times where he was like, Charles, the sentences will work just as well if you don't put fuck between every other word. Um,
No, they fucking won't.
yeah, no, you've never seen me blow up the way that I blew up at these people. Like it was,
I'm very glad at that, honestly.
yeah. Well, because it's why for the longest time I didn't think I could be a director, was because of that experience.
Oh wow, interesting.
Because I had so little patience for these people, because and now looking back, I realized because they weren't actors, they were people who want to be crew people who, hold on, I just dropped my mic. Okay. So
Sick.
they were um they were people who wanted to be crew people who were basically had to be talent for a project.
Yeah, they made us do crew stuff, those actors too. So
Yeah, so they had no respect for being actors, and it was so frustrating to try to like direct them.
yeah, that makes sense.
And because those were the first people I'd ever tried to direct, I wasn't aware of what it was like to direct people who actually want to be there and want to act and are willing to learn.
Yeah. So you just get jaded thinking everyone's like
Yeah,
that.
no, I just got like, fuck it. I don't know how my dad does this shit, because I don't have the fucking patience to deal with people like this. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, that makes sense. I think that's totally valid.
yeah. So, that's why for years and years, until Jeremiah Kipp suggested it, I did not think I could be a director. Like when I wrote Teresa and Allison, it wasn't even a concept in my head that I would ever direct it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you now. Gertrude,
Yeah.
leave monkeys alone. Leave monkeys alone, Gert. Come on.
But yeah, no, it was not even a thought in my head that I would direct that. It was
Well,
always, I'll find someone else to direct it.
well, thank God you got over that.
Yeah.
Yes. See? You're not as stuck in your ways as you think.
It was more of, as I said, it was like, and I still think the first thing I ever directed, I think was shit, but it was still a learning process. It was like, oh, I can do this. I just have to fix this mistake and that mistake and the other mistake.
Yeah, makes sense.
That was the first thing I ever worked on with Emily McKinley Hill on.
I know. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
We love you, Emily.
So yeah, so back to this.
Oh yeah,
You know, and Nick and the bullies call. So Nick also has like his little crew of bullies.
he does. He's kind of a dick. I don't know why he lives so long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, I mean, he survives. He's one of the like the three survivors in the film.
True. I was trying to not spoil it entirely, but it's too late.
I mean, and if you're watching this, we spoil everything. We're going to talk about the ending.
We're
You
talking
know,
about the ending at the beginning. That's why,
yes,
like the four people that I called to be like, you have to watch this. I'm doing a podcast about it. They were like, well, just listen to your podcast. I was like, no, you have to watch it. Listen to the podcast after.
yeah. Well,
Um,
that's the thing. Explain to them that we talk about the ending in our podcast. Like,
ah,
yeah,
Sasha.
yeah. So the bullies call her Annie Lennox.
Yeah, I think
Um,
they're talking about Steph.
yeah,
Yes,
Steph. Yeah,
Annie Lennox. That cracked me up. I'm sorry.
you know.
Uh, where am I?
And then they start singing I guess kind of the uh, it's
This
not
is
like
like
the title song, but No Such Thing as a Hollywood Ending keeps getting, refrained. They keep
like
reprising it throughout the
yeah.
film.
Mm-hmm. Monkey, say hi. Hold on. Say hi to Uncle Charles. Hi.
Hello.
Say hi to the monks.
Hey
Yeah,
there.
monkey. Okay.
Hello, monkey.
I was like, I actually caught her. Ah, and there goes my phone. That's what I get. That's what I get. She knocked over my phone. She was like, "You picked me up, mother."
Yeah. But
Um,
this is also where you see like when they talk about No Such Thing as a Hollywood Ending, where you see Mr. Savage being super sad at that thought.
he is. He's so sad. He comes into the room for 1 second, and it's like this is like your high school musical. We're all in this together song for you kids out there.
Hmm.
Um, yes, that was my generation.
Yeah.
I'm determined to still be a child, a sexy child. Um, yeah. So
See,
I
now you're making me think of what the fuck show was it? With the I'm a Sexy Baby.
This is my real voice. And the whole sexy baby thing isn't an act. I'm a very sexy baby. I can't help it if men are attracted to me. Like that homeless guy. He likes what he sees.
Okay, that could be for me.
It's not. It's for her.
Um,
Oh no, that's what Ramon at the sushi place by my old apartment used to say to me every single day. He'd be like, Chelsea, you're so sexy, but you're like a baby. You're like a sexy baby. Yeah. And I was like, do you know what you're saying? This is not appropriate.
yeah. Well, I'm thinking what was it? The show with Alec Baldwin. Was it 30 Rock or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where there was a character who came in and Tina Fey hated her and was
You know what?
all
I've
like,
never seen 30 Rock ever.
okay. I've never seen a full episode. I've seen clips that I thought were really funny.
Yeah, I've seen clips. Yeah. No
And
one cancel us because we haven't seen it.
there's one where there's a woman who comes in and she's all like flirting with the guys and she speaks in a baby voice and Tina Fey's like, everyone here, I of course I'm sure you're not just, someone who thinks she's a sexy baby. And she's like, sexy baby. And like,
Yikes. Yikes.
you know.
That is
and
terrifying.
and Tina Fey's character, because she's like so, into being like a strong girl boss type, she hates this character.
Yes. Yes.
Who all the men automatically listen to in the writer's room and all this other stuff. And
Mhm, mhm. That makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, find it and I'll watch. I'm like, I'll watch that.
I'll send
Fine.
that clip to you.
Oh, thank you.
I might even link it on this episode. Who knows? But
Oh, cool.
you know,
Okay, so we get back to this, and Steph's trying to get into her car, and then
yeah. Okay. So let's point this out because neither of us mentioned this. There was a bunch of things earlier, because it becomes a big plot point later.
yes,
Mr. Savage takes her keys to her car.
which is illegal. He can't do that.
It's illegal here, but is it illegal in Scotland?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. For some
that's the
reason, I thought
thing.
they were in New Zealand, so I was wrong about the fucking country.
Yeah, it could completely be legal in Scotland. I don't know the
Yeah, he
laws.
takes the keys to the car because Savage wants everyone to feel pain and doesn't want he's Savage and
Yeah.
doesn't want her to help the homeless for some
Yeah,
reason.
if it's on school property, it's the school's car, is what he says. Yeah,
But that really pissed me off so much.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's definitely not legal here. They can take your
Yeah,
cell phone. They can take your cell phone in the classroom. They
yeah.
can
And
take.
here is also where we see Steph trying to call her girlfriend, but her girlfriend won't pick up.
Poor Steph.
But here's the thing that I start to wonder: is her girlfriend alive?
At that point, probably
Because
not.
earlier in the film they talk about how the CDC
Mm-hmm.
has had basically discovered this disease that reanimates the dead. CDC's in America. So
Oh
that
yeah.
means whatever this is has been that far in America.
You smart. You use your brain.
Yes. For all we know, this is like a side story to any one of the numerous zombie movies we've watched, and this is just what happens in Scotland. You
That could
know.
be really, really cool. Well, like this after the movie, there was like a lot of similar looking titles. Like you should also watch this. I was like, what if this is all in the same world? What if it's not? But you know.
Where
So we
it's
see
just
there's a
it's
zombie.
I was gonna say suddenly it's like fucking Rachel and Revelations and
Yes.
it's just all people who saw Anna and the Apocalypse and just decided to make their own versions and just you know
It should. Every country should make their own.
but this
That's how
one's in Bali so it's like a Bollywood zombie movie.
I love
Uh,
that. That probably exists. Bollywood's so huge.
I'm sure there's probably like a fucking dozen Bollywood zombie movies.
But zombie musical movies, I bet they exist.
Do you think that there's any Bollywood movie that isn't a musical?
No.
I've never seen one.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's probably like a dozen fucking zombie musicals in Bollywood.
Yes.
You know.
We finally get to see a zombie because she bumps into a guy and is like, "Oh, excuse me," and then we get to see our first zombie. I like that the zombies are silly.
hmm
I think that they're really silly. I think that they look good and they're silly gooses. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, playing a zombie in this movie would be really fun."
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we
Excuse
go to Thunderballs Bowling.
Yeah, I love the name of Thunderballs. I was like, this
Yeah.
is amazing. So John's there, tells her that she smells like a shoe. We have like a drunk bachelor party bowling who become important later.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Chris
I love how he also has his like his Christmas sweater with fucking lights on it that he's all proud of.
Yep.
And when he tells Anna she smells like a shoe, she says, "Well, you're dressed like a massive cunt."
It's so good. It's so good. And then I love that she says before that Christmas is fast becoming my least favorite C word.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. So we get to
Yeah.
the music show, and there's
hmm
a zombie outside, and then penguins are talking about fish, and it's really bad.
It's
Um,
like a rap song about like
about different kinds of fish.
yes.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like that's like I hope that that's on the soundtrack that I downloaded.
And
Honestly,
Mr. Savage is just there like this is awful.
just so disappointed, and it is really really awful until Lisa comes on.
Yeah, and I also wrote I imagine Chelsea has known about 50 Lisas in her lifetime.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I have been Lisa.
My chimney needs a good unblocking.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, I have. That has been me.
There's one
Uh,
gift that I want to unwrap.
she wants to fuck Santa.
Come on over and unload your sack.
Yes, I love that. And then she's got like it's like
The
homage to Mean
sexy
Girls or something.
Santas
Sexy
behind
Santa
her.
behind
Yes.
her.
Yes.
Amazing.
And Mr.
It's so
Savage
good.
looking like he's going to murder her throughout this.
Yes, there's like you got like mothers in the audience shielding their children's like eyes and ears and stuff.
Yes.
It's really, really funny. And I'm like, you're 17. What is the age of consent in Glasgow? But so Chris
Yeah,
isn't there.
cover this.
He's
I will look that up, actually.
amazing. So
Yes.
Chris
Watch it
is
be like 14 or something.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Chris is not there because he's helping Steph record homeless people at the soup kitchen because he's supposed to make something that means something. And but his gran is there. His grandma's there watching his girlfriend Lisa. So she gets
16.
the reserve. 16. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. For some reason.
Yeah, Chelsea's
Yeah,
Chelsea's gonna wait 10 years and just go a cougar to Glasgow.
hey, I like them old. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I need them old.
Yeah, Mr.
Um,
Savage is more your type, actually.
he's disgusting.
You know, if he
Um,
trimmed his beard, you.
yes. I did go for her dad more before I go for Miss
Oh,
Savage. I think. I
yeah.
know. Take
I was
pity
gonna
on me.
say Mr. Savage also reminded us of a person. Oh God, I was just thinking. See, if I was casting, I wouldn't cast me as Mr. Savage. I would actually cast Josh as Mr. Savage.
Oh, he'd be great at it.
Yeah,
He'd be great at it.
yeah.
Definitely. Um, so there's some shit going on backstage. Like there's some like zombie thumping going around that Savage notices through the
Hmm.
backstage area. Um, John is upset about Harry Potter and they can't remember all the reindeer, which doesn't make any sense to me. But it's funny when they call it Olive. Like Olive was
Well,
funny.
he's mentioning all the reindeer and he, you know, Blixer and Cupid and Olive, but Olive was a dick because Olive the other reindeer used to laugh and
I
call
couldn't
him
call him
names.
names.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really funny. I like it. I
yeah.
like it. So we get that she slept through her alarm. It's 8:30 and it's December 23rd, but she has
Oh,
no.
we skipped on John injuring his coworker.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
write about that.
Mrs. Yeah, well, because she shows up later. It's important
Oh,
that
Mrs.
she's
His whatever.
Hiselman. Yeah,
Mrs. Hiselman. Yeah, he hits her in the back of the head with something, right?
yeah. Well, because he's throwing a shoe that he found on the ground.
Oh yeah. When I love that they instead of putting the shoes back in the shoe rack, they aim for the garbage.
Yes.
I'm like, they do not like their job. Um, at all. But
Do
she
any
gets hit.
teenagers?
What?
Do any teenagers?
No, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I worked at a laundromat. That was awful. I worked at Hollister. That was even
Mm.
worse.
I worked at only worked two jobs three jobs if you count working for my dad when I was 18.
Mhm.
But I worked at a kennel because I was like, "Oh, I love dogs. Let me do that." Yeah, no, I quit that the same day cuz you know, I grew up, like I said, we raised police dogs. I'm used to, cleaning up the shit from like one or two dogs, you know. There might have been six, but I can clean up, one or two at a time would happen.
Mhm.
You go into a room and there's 36 dogs and like half of them have shit, like you I threw up. Like it's not something that like anyone should smell, and the dog certainly shouldn't have fucking, had to deal with that either. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's awful. I hate
Yeah,
that.
but I was like 14 or 15. I was like, oh, I love dogs and I've been around dogs, so I can work at a kennel. And nope. I was
I
as soon as like I said, I was assaulted by the fucking smell of like 16 fucking big dogs having shit at once.
Ew. Yeah,
Yeah,
not fun.
yeah. And then I worked at Pathmark when I was in high school.
What
And
is
I think I was there for like maybe 3 weeks or something.
what is that?
It's a grocery store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
That's
was there for about 3 weeks, but you have to remember I'm also me, even if I was like a fucking teenager. And they didn't like it when a woman complained about how, because the lines were gigantic one day. It was a Friday, and you know what grocery stores are like on a Friday,
Mhm.
you know. And everyone was unhappy as everyone always is. But some woman complained about how big the line is, and I was so tired of customers complaining. I made the comment of, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Had I known that you were coming, I would have shot everyone else in front of you." um,
Amazing. Did you
and
get fired?
I believe so. Yes. Because she asked to speak to my manager, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, do you want me to shoot him too?"
Wow. Savage. Yes, you are savage.
That was me at like, fucking 16, where
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know if I was there. Was I there was it 3 days or 3 weeks? I don't know. It was a short period of time.
But I'm sure it was hell no matter what it was.
Oh yeah, no, it was not a very long period of time at all. But it was my attempt at like, look, I have a job now.
I'm a grown-up kid.
But yeah,
I'm grown up.
I hated it. The only job, I guess when you're 19, I can count that as a teenage job. I had a record store job. That
Right.
was
Didn't you
fun.
work at Virgin Records?
Yeah, later on when I was in my 20s.
Cool.
I worked
I
at
missed
Virgin. I worked at Virgin Records, Virgin Megastore, not Virgin Records.
Yeah.
I worked at Virgin Records. I worked at Tower Records, and I also worked at Gothic Renaissance briefly.
I went there yesterday.
Yeah, which man, I have never worked retail where I got laid so much as when I worked at Gothic Renaissance.
It's a great store.
Holy shit, I was doing like half the fucking customers who came in.
Yay!
It
Like in the
was-
store?
Mm, I only made out with one in the store. But
Oh, you're so well behaved. You went to Halloween Town next door and fucked them there.
no. Oh God, I hated going to Halloween Adventure next door.
Yes, yes.
They made me work there once because someone was ill, and I was the most miserable employee that day because I was like, I don't want to deal with any of these people and their fucking, oh, I'm gonna buy a pumpkin. And like, well, fuck you. You know?
Buy a pumpkin.
Yeah.
No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He loves you. He loves you. Apologize.
Yeah.
Fucking
But yeah,
September, Charles. It's September.
yes, I know. It's pumpkin spice season.
I don't give a fuck about pumpkin spice, honestly. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
prefer pumpkin seeds. That's why I love carving pumpkins, to roast the seeds.
I'm not going to comment on you preferring the seed. Anyway, so
Oh yeah, we're talking about this movie.
yeah, I was gonna say we talk about you preferring seed, and then you open your mouth really wide. Anyway,
I did that on purpose.
I know. So we fade to Anna lying in bed.
And she's late.
Yeah.
December 23rd, and she does not make a good job of getting there quickly, even though she's late.
Well, because now it's time for a song.
Yes, a really fun song that while the world is exploding around her.
Well, I don't know if this was on purpose. This scene seemed like it was a tribute to the Dawn of the Dead remake.
I think so too.
Yeah, because it's all some of the shots are exact from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Like when like in Dawn of the Dead when she goes outside and the suburban neighborhood is all fucked. Some of the things in the background were exact from that.
Dang.
So I feel like that had to be on purpose. Like that was their little tribute to that. Which if you want to hear our comment on that, that was a previous episode. So check that one out. But yeah, although finish this one first. But
yes.
But yeah, she has her headphones on. And there's some really cool stuff happening in the background. And,
yeah, like this song is really fun.
Yeah, she's singing "It's a Brand New Day" while we're seeing like the fucking electrical poles are covered in blood. There's a zombie eating out of a fucking baby carriage. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we cut to John. He's doing the same thing. He has his headphones in, and he's in his backyard. And I wrote, "John is gay. Why are they pretending?" But there's disembowelment going on.
Yeah.
He trips over some zombies in a tunnel. And then they meet in a cemetery. What a time to be alive.
Yes.
It's great.
And I said, I think that "What a Time to Be Alive" part is the only part of the song I like, but because of how much I love vocal harmonies.
Yeah, they harmonize very well in this.
Yeah.
They did. I fucking love this. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they find each other and keep dancing and singing together until a snowman costume guy falls down.
Yes. Who was he's a zombie, and
it was really funny.
She knocks his head off with the seesaw.
Yes, with the seesaw.
Yes.
I love that they have that realistic, like, what the fuck just happened moment.
Yes.
You know, like it was really funny. It's like these are zombies. She's like, zombies aren't real. How do you explain that? And it's his severed head still growling at them. I
Yes.
love it.
And then she
It's
says
so good.
it's stupid that they're zombies.
It's stupid. It is.
Yes.
It is. It's stupid that they're zombies. So we've realized that John never saw his mom this morning, and she never saw her dad. So it's that they're still at the school.
Yeah.
Yes, that people have been taking refuge at the school or being held hostage by Savage. I mean,
Well, we
very
find that out later. Yeah.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
Um, so there's alarms and explosion. There's no internet.
Well,
There's no
no, there's not that there's
service.
no internet. There's no signal.
There's no signal. Right,
Y-
the internet
Yeah,
doesn't work.
because
Like,
they figure the internet is probably still working. So let's go to a place that has, a router. So they decide to go to the bowling alley.
right, right. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
glad you were paying attention. I was probably
Yeah.
just laughing.
To which I
Um,
love the line of, well, maybe it won't be so bad across town. And the first thing we see is the flaming Christmas tree.
it's the flame. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And they want to go to. They're gonna go to John's work first, and that's just up in flames. And
Yes.
it's fucking brilliant. I love it so much. And he's eating a banana, and he's like, "What? Potassium makes me happy."
Yes.
And I really love. They say a lot of things that Chelsea says throughout this film. The two things being, "I've got this," and "It's all gonna be okay." I say
Yeah.
both those things
I
all the
know.
time.
I know.
And, and I'm like, they fucking took my lines. But it made me happy. I noted every single one.
Yeah. So, and like, well, our parents will know what to do, and meanwhile, the parents are hoarding at the school.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're just stealing supplies at the school, and they're
Yeah.
locked in.
Yeah.
But we find out that there's an army base next door.
Yeah.
That we really never see anything about.
Well, the army guys as zombies later on.
Yes, yes, yes. For
Yeah.
like a second.
Yeah.
So he makes an office near the fridge, Savage does, and wants everyone to remain calm and patient. And Lisa is worried about Chris because obviously he wasn't there at the thingy and he's stuck with Steph. And he's seen like every horror movie. He'll know what to do. I love that line so much. I love that they keep referencing horror movies and
Yeah.
celebrities and like pop culture shit. Like
Yeah.
it's so relevant. Like it doesn't even what was it, 2017? I'm like everything is
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah.
Well, that's always been a thing that bothers me is when and I hate it about The Walking Dead and I hate it about other zombie things where people have never seen zombie fiction. Like
Yeah.
zombie fiction is such a part of our culture.
Mhm.
It bothers me when I see a zombie film where they're like, "Oh, what are they? Like they're like calling them walkers or rotters or whatever because they don't know the word zombie." And it bothers me so fucking much whenever I see it.
Yeah. No, me too. I'm like everyone's read the zombie survival guide. Like come on.
I mean that
I know
was
this.
that was one of the big. That's also I loved that in Return of the Living Dead, where they
Mhm.
well, the movie said if we destroyed the brain it died. I mean, it worked in the movie,
It worked in the movie.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
the
very
movie
very
lied, like I
movies never
love that.
lie.
Yeah, I love that. Like that was if I ever were to do a zombie thing, I would very much reference other fucking zombie things.
Yeah, you make it very self-aware and it's a
Oh,
hit.
of course. Of course. You
I
know,
agree.
I mean, there's that big zombie like TV show that I wrote that I will never talk about on the air because the one thing about it is it's an evergreen fucking concept.
Right.
You know, and I figured I would wait until like 5 to 10 years after there's no more Walking Dead spin-offs. So probably 2040. Um
2004.
you know, but and by the way, congratulate all joking aside, congratulations to Puya Moseni, who played the mysterious woman in Bruce and Allison, who is
Mhm.
going to be a recurring cast member of Walking Dead Dead City.
Yay.
So
Yay.
Puya was Puya I'm Puya I don't know if have you ever met Puya, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh, you have? Oh, cool.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was just on the internet. I don't
Okay,
remember.
okay. Yeah, because Puya was before I met Chelsea. But yeah, Puya is just a joy to work with. Just a awesome Iranian actress. Very, very, brave and strong trans activist, and just awesome person and just a joy to work with on set.
Oh, yay. Yeah, we love you, Pooya.
Yeah, so it was cool enough when she was in Terrifier, and now to see that she's in Walking Dead Dead City, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. She did a play last year at Shakespeare and Company, too. I was like, what?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Three tall Persian women.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Mhm.
I love that fucking Anna and John are going to their job, the bowling alley. And when they get there, Steph and Chris are there.
Yes.
And they're like, wait, how did you get in here? And they mentioned someone left the door unlocked.
Yeah, the
Because-
back door is unlocked.
Yes, because John didn't do his. John thought it was the Mrs. Heselman's job.
Yeah, they're terrible at their jobs.
Yes.
They're really bad at their jobs. I really like the boys are excited about the zombie thing, and the girls are like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Yeah, they think they're going to be helped by the army. The internet works. They find out Justin Bieber's a zombie, which is very important for the plot.
See,
Just kidding.
this part to me seemed like the most theater kid thing ever because it was like I would not give a shit, but the fact that they're like going on back and forth about which, fucking celebrities have become zombies.
Hmm. In a ball pit.
Yes.
I love that the men are talking about like celebrities and how funny they are and how protective that John gets over Taylor Swift. It's so
Yes.
funny.
Yes.
And then how the girls are actually doing something serious and are talking
Yes.
about like a plan.
Yes. They
It made me laugh.
they're referencing and the guys say Robert Downey Jr. and then they say Ryan Gosling who would survive because he's just Ken. And the girls, and girls debate if Paris is still standing. So Steph says something about the French don't take no shit, which I assume is a
Yeah.
reference to something.
I think it's just that we're all hard asses. I don't know. What do you think, Peanut? Okay, bye. See you later.
And so we find out that Mrs. Hiselman's a zombie, and so she's in the stall. She tries to bite Anna, and they crush her skull with a toilet seat. And
Naturally, I love how fucking brilliant they are with all the different ways that, like, items that they use to kill zombies.
Yeah,
That was one of my favorite parts.
and then the boys are fucking bowling because
The bachelor party, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Certainly what you want to do is be making that much noise in the fucking zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
And so the fucking bachelor party just kind of burst through the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's we have Anna trying to fight them off with a broom, and Steph using a spatula when it touches her boob. And she's all proud of herself too for having stuck it in there too.
Yeah, she is proud of herself, but that guy comes back.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
guy comes
And
back.
Chris kills it with a bowling pin. I love the shot. There's some great cinematography in this.
Yeah,
I love when they showed the sun's going down. There's like the flaming. We see it from an alley where there's a hand on the ground and a pool of blood. There's a flaming tire rolling in the background.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah,
It's so well thought out and so brilliant. I think I can't believe I've gone 32 years of my life and never saw this. Well, since it came out,
yeah. I was gonna say it's only been out for.
Dutch Charles, I fixed my error. You don't have to say it. I beat you to it.
No, I mean,
Yeah, it's a great shot of him hitting the. I love when he like squishes his head with the two bowling balls. Like,
yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
Yeah, Death by Broomstick. I just kept writing Veronica Duffy needs to be in this.
Was she one of the ones you recommended watch this?
Yes. No, I called her.
Oh, okay. I'd be like, oh my god, you should play Steph if we ever
Yes.
do it.
Yes. Yeah, it's awesome. So then we cut back to the school and we find out that Chris's grandma is not doing well. But she has a bad heart and
Yeah.
Savage is savage and doesn't care. What I love about this movie is that I know that I care about, and they made the characters all different enough that I remember all of their names. You know,
Yeah.
I love.
And Lisa wants to go and find a way to help Chris's grandma. And Mr. Savage says, "Look around you. What do you see?" Um, and
Cable.
yeah, so she's like, I see civilization on the edge. And what do civilizations do when it finds itself on the edge? And she's like, we help each other. and he's
Yeah.
like, no, we prioritize.
Yeah, it's fucked up. So then the power goes out everywhere and there are explosions.
Yeah.
Really bad. There's people screaming. And then there's this song about them becoming technology. You got Chris on the phone and Steph on the laptop.
It is a
Yeah.
good point though about how connected we all are to all of our tech, and how lost we would be if there was suddenly no internet and no electricity.
It's true. We'd be fucked. Like that Quaker shit, I can't do it. I will
Yeah.
churn butter, but then I'll eat all the butter.
It was one of those things where, like, I saw A Quiet Place the other day, day one,
I
which
haven't
is
seen that.
it's the first Quiet Place film I've ever seen, actually.
Hmm.
Because I saw I've seen parts of the first one. I think I've seen the first 5 or 10 minutes and then fell asleep because it's very hard for me to watch a movie that's that quiet.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and the whole thing I kept thinking about was like, wow, if something like this happened, even if we both survived, I would probably never see Chelsea again.
Yeah, probably.
Like, here,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's crazy how that works, like how we're only able to communicate because of all this technology and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. Peanut, how do you feel about that? She would miss you very much. She's not happy
I
that
know.
you said that
I
in my
know.
headphones where she can't hear you or understand you.
Yeah. So,
Um, so it's something about needing a human voice, and this is the song I really didn't care for out of all of them. It was my least favorite, I
mhm.
think. And we bring Lisa and Grandma into it too. I'm hungry, and and I have ADD now apparently. So there's what did I write? Steph zombie hand thing. What does that mean?
I don't
So
know.
so they start to concoct this plan that she's got to find her car. She's got to get the keys to her car at some point, and they want to get to the school and check on everyone's folks. I wonder how her parents were doing in Mexico.
Well, they could also be dead.
Yes, that's
Um,
true. You're dead. You're dead. You're
yeah.
dead.
So, and I also like that Anna's dad is looking at pictures of her on his phone too,
Yes, it's very cute.
which also has a very sad payoff too at the end of the film.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Anna wakes up in the ball pit, and the snow's gone. Anna asks about the army, and then we look outside and we see all the army guys are all zombies now.
Yes, naturally, because that's how it happens.
Yeah.
That was such a quick shot. I might have even missed it. I didn't write that down.
Mm. So
Huh.
Chris wants to know how they're going to get past it, and John pulls up his hoodie and says, and he accidentally hits Steph in the face when he does it, and
Yes.
John says he's got the best idea ever, which is an incredibly
That was
bad
Chris.
idea.
I thought Chris said that.
No, it's John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, John. Come on, that's not a Chris idea to walk down the street in an inflatable fucking pool.
That's true. But it's a great idea.
It's a horrible idea. It almost
Yeah,
gets
so
them all
they take the
killed.
ball pit. They take the ball pit, which is like a kiddie blow up pool, and they
Yeah.
put them on top of like they turn it upside down and are all inside of it. And I think it's fucking hilarious. They're
Yeah.
trying to play a game, like what is that? Like the fuck Mary Kill
Yeah.
to stop to like distract themselves. It's so silly. It's so and they go by a retirement home
Yeah.
and drop down, and it's full of zombies, and an old lady zombie sits on Steph's head and pees.
Yes.
It's great.
And I love someone's like, and someone's like, "Don't worry, it's plastic," and she's like, "It's warm plastic."
Yes, yes.
Um,
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And then Nick comes back, the dick bag ex-boyfriend or whatever the fuck.
yeah. And he's having a good old time, which is the thing. I think in real zombie apocalypse, you would totally get people who think this is the greatest fucking time ever because it gives them
getting a
gives
great
them an
time, like,
excuse to
enjoying
be
that.
violent.
Yeah, totally. I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Please, I don't need a zombie apocalypse. Um,
We're talking about you. I know it would be you, but still.
yeah. No, I would.
So-
I would be. No, I would become like fucking. I would be Negan if we went into the apocalypse.
I'm aware.
You know.
Oh,
Little
I know.
pigs, little pigs. You know.
Little
Suddenly,
pigs.
let me in. You know. Suddenly, I would. I've played Dead by Daylight and done the Negan voice while pursuing people.
Good.
Yes.
That all makes sense. You keep going. I need to grab a water bottle. It'll take me 2 seconds.
All right. But yeah, at this point, we get the zombies on the soccer team. And we also find out that Nick's dad was one of the army guys. And so she, Anna, when Anna finds out about that, she says sorry. And Nick just says whatever. So, the zombies on the soccer team show up. And, I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Chris or John. One of them suggests hiding. And Nick is like, hiding's for pussies.
We are hunters.
Yeah. We're the hunters. And the jocks are excited for the zombie killing. And now, ladies, why don't you get behind me? And
Yes.
rule
And the
2,
girls'
have
soccer
fun.
team are zombies.
Yep. Have fun and use your imagination. And he's just living out his fucking macho fantasies, and it's all a fucking game to him.
Yeah, it's really fun. This song's really fun. A montage of him just killing everyone, including the zombie penguins now.
Yeah.
Right. It's really, really, really fun. That guy can sing.
You know what? I actually hated how much auto-tune was on his voice. It bothered me.
Yes, you're right. There probably was. Actually, I think I went to the bathroom during this song. Now that I think about
Because there's a ton of auto-tune on the guy's voice.
Aww.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
the
not a
actor's name is
big
Ben.
I
hate auto-tune.
I'm so bitter at Cher for introducing it to the to the fucking musical landscape, because so many people just load up on auto-tune with everything they fucking do.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
It is. So, and Nick is still a bully to John during this too.
Yeah, he's such a prick. Like, he's not. I'm like, dude, it's the end of the world. You're having a fun time killing zombies. Leave the poor kid alone.
Yeah.
I felt about it.
And so meanwhile, we find out that Mr. Savage has a 12-point plan.
Yes.
Everyone has to trust him.
Yeah, everyone needs to stay there, but everyone's like, no, we're getting the fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
But I'm the headmaster.
I'm the headmaster. Yeah, he calls the dad a fucking janitor. This is my school. And I was just afraid.
But from what I mentioned earlier, come on, can you imagine how fucking great fucking, Josh's delivery of those lines would be?
So good.
Yes,
so good.
Yeah.
What Josh is doing? I should reach out to him.
Yeah.
But he's having a great time, and when it comes to killing zombies and I'm going back.
So Mr. Savage is depressed because he just keeps repeating, "I'm the headmaster," when no one's listening.
Yeah,
and
you kind of feel bad for the man.
Anna's dad even tries to help him, and he's just like, "Don't patronize me, you fucking janitor."
It's so mean.
Yeah.
So the zombies are coming. This is my school. I'm like, this is my swamp. Like, I'm like, are you quoting Shrek? Are you quoting Shrek? That's
probably not.
They should. Shrek is an iconic movie.
Yes.
No, and I get afraid of that Savage is just gonna start killing people who aren't even zombies.
Yeah.
He's off his fucking shit.
Yeah. There was a comic called Zombie World a bunch of years ago that I always loved because it was just so fucking dark, and it mixed like Lovecraftian shit into the reason for the zombies.
You should send it to me.
What?
You should send it to me. I want to watch it.
No, it was a comic book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Send me the link to it, and I'll have some poor fool buy it for me.
What I love about it, I think it's out of print now, unfortunately, but I remember what I really love.
I'll find it.
What I really love about it was I remember reading it once in St. Mark's comic in the issue where it took place in New York, and it had zombies outside of St. Mark's comics in the in the
That's
issue,
awesome.
which I really thought was kind of fun, like reading it there and just being like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's funny.
I love that they're showing like an angle where it's like they're literally like across the street.
Yeah, that's meta as fuck.
Yeah. Um, but one of the things they had in there was a whole issue about this obsessive guy who basically there was a girl who he had a crush on, and he basically kept her like chained in his basement when he was killing zombies. Because she was a zombie, but he couldn't bring it because he was obsessed with her. He couldn't bring himself to shoot her. So he got this I can make her love me now. So he had
Wow.
her like chained in his base. But there was a line in there about how he was like, I had to kill my mom and dad and the neighbors, and the neighbors said he wasn't a zombie, but you can't be too sure. And
Dang.
so it just shows how fucking nuts this guy was.
Yeah.
That he, obviously just murdered his neighbor and claimed, oh well, he could have been a zombie. You never know. You can't be too safe. Yeah.
No.
But at the end of the comic, it had him. He would like when people would come for safety, he would like kill them and feed them to the girl downstairs.
Wow.
Yeah. And at the end of the comic, it had him giving like an arm to her. And after she bit a little bit of it, she held it up to him.
Oh.
And so he figured, oh, she's finally learning to love me.
That's fucked up.
And so he unchained her and said, if and she bit him. And the last panel was something like, if this is what it takes for us to be together forever, then I'll take it.
That's some little shop shit.
So
Jeez Louises.
yeah,
That's
but
that sounds really fun.
yeah, like it was the type of thing where like I remember someone had gotten the rights to make a movie of it, and then nothing ever happened to it.
I hate that. I hate when people buy the rights to something and then shelve it forever.
Yeah. There was a talk. Then that was the thing, is there were regular zombies, and then there were like these like Lovecraftian like emissaries who were like talking zombies.
Jesus.
Like there was one called the Zombie King who was basically just a biker, but he was like a zombie biker. And he didn't just, it wasn't just him with zombies, like he had like these like fucking weird Lovecraftian demons that would follow and protect him.
That's fun.
And I thought it was so fucking cool. And at one point they introduced at the Museum of Natural History, there was like some sarcophagus that had been that's basically how it started, from someone had found some like ancient like god or something, and when trying to open something at the Museum of Natural History, had unleashed this.
You need Ben Stiller or you're fucked.
I've actually never seen Night at the Museum.
I love those movies so much.
Yeah, well, if we ever have another 10 Chelsea movies,
Oh
so,
yeah. All three of them are great.
I've never seen any of them.
The first one is really the only
So, basically at this, and John also makes a good point at this point. So Chris is still shooting, which also I wondered how Chris's phone wasn't dead at this point.
Yeah, they never talk about electricity. How is the laptop still going?
Well, the laptop would still be going by the battery, and not if you have an Apple thing, because Apple loves to do its thing where after a certain update, everything stops working because you have to get a new one.
Yeah, no, it's like it's like both my laptop and my phone are both charging, and the like percentage is going down. I'm like, yeah. Come on.
But I will say, remember when you shot Demon Hunter, that little PC laptop I had?
Yeah.
That thing just died this year.
Wow.
So some computers, I hate, you know what? Hey, Apple, you want to pay us for an endorsement? I'll cut this part out of the show. but but otherwise, yeah, like, a lot of like the PC stuff lasted for a long time on a charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, we both have iPhones. I don't know if maybe other phones do last longer if
They do. They do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but even then, that's pushing it with how long Chris is using his phone for.
It's true. It's true. But at least he's recording things. Not that it really comes of anything, I don't think.
Well, because yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
he's hoping that one day when this is all over, he'll be able to sell it, and it'll be on news reports and stuff, and it'll be a whole and it's part of the sadness of when Chris dies later on.
Yeah, I love that all of them have these like goals and hopes and dreams, and
Yeah,
most die.
yeah,
I'm like,
you
this is
know,
realistic for
yeah,
zombies.
exactly, because like people get this like, okay, well, this is going to be over one day, and all this footage I'm taking is going to be in documentaries about when the zombies rose and all
Yeah.
that, and obviously it won't be because he just died. It's just in a school somewhere when he dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know,
makes sense.
yeah,
So at this point, they're at a little shopping outlet mall. They talk about how there are revolutions and riots in other countries, but not here. John is pushing Anna in the shopping cart, and he's really excited that now she can't go to Australia, which is a horrible thing to say to someone.
and it's
The
totally the type of thing a clueless fucking teenage boy would say.
Yes, 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 it's absolutely true. But
Yeah,
you're my best friend, you know that. Like she knows that he's in love with her, and she's just,
yeah,
but she's delusional because he's gay. And the the come on, Johnny boy. So she's pushing him now in the car, and she still wants to get away somehow. Watch me, whatever. Um, so now they're at the Christmas tree store, and Nick says if they go through there, it's going to be quicker, and they somehow say yes,
yeah,
which is dumb. Certain death is so much fun. And it's a shortcut to school. Nick says that it's going to be the only way that they'll get there before the sun's down or something like that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and it works, and this is where we are introduced to the candy cane steak, and I love that
yeah,
because Anna has it through the rest of the movie.
yeah.
They get scared by an animatronic
No,
gnome Mrs. Claus thing that's terrifying. I would
which
have been afraid of that.
they also spoke as though I think that was a reference to a meme from like 2017 or something.
Hmm, maybe.
Because they
Maybe.
all were like, "Oh, we found the nobody gnome" or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it was a reference to a meme or something. Because
That makes sense.
I didn't get it, but I figure it was probably something that maybe it was a Scottish meme or something. But it definitely seemed like they were referencing something.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah,
Santa's helpers and elves are zombies and attack.
yeah.
Yes. She can't find, so Anna can't find John.
And
We're
let's just talk about the technical thing about this scene. Like, it's
yeah,
very well done. Like, just the fact of using Christmas trees as
yeah,
like, of them like trying to maneuver around them, and you never know if there's a zombie behind the tree because there's so many of them.
yeah. It's really well done.
Yeah. And it's all
Mhm.
just like shadow and Christmas trees, and it's just it's such a cool like place scene.
It is.
And before
It's
we know it, all of Nick's friends are dead.
Yes, which is fine.
You know.
Um, all right,
And
where
but that's the thing is like even you know Anna says to him, "Sorry about your friends," and he's like, "They should have kept up."
they should have, yeah, he's pretty bad. Like it's nice seeing him actually break down when he explains that he had to kill his father and stuff.
Yeah,
But I was like, this guy's savage. This Nick
yeah.
guy's crazy.
Well,
Uh,
even here was also where when we were talking about earlier about their hopes and dreams and stuff. Chris goes back to save his phone.
right. Yeah, which is really dumb. It's not a great move, but he
Yeah,
survives.
yeah.
For now.
Hmm.
Um, what if everyone's dead? Then you'll think of something you always do. And I love that. And then he remembers all the reindeer, but he doesn't get them in the fucking right order, and that drives me nuts. Um,
But he
so
he does remember them, and he's all proud of himself, and he puts his arms out,
yes, he
and
puts
he
his
gets
arms out.
bitten.
He gets bitten by a zombie. then throws Anna to safety and sacrifices himself, and Nick takes her away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad. He's a goner. So your dad's waiting for you. Bye, John. And Steph has a mannequin leg, which is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
So Anna's about to go on a fucking rampage, and we finally see a zombie Santa.
Yeah.
We're waiting for that. Arthur's eating his Christmas dinner. That's savage. I love that.
Well, they finally get to the school.
Yes, they got
They
to the
fight off
school.
the yeah. Anna takes all of her grief out on the zombies, and then they finally get to the school, and that's when they see him eating, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm eating my Christmas dinner, Miss North. I'll expect you'll all wanting to see your parents. You're very lucky children because they almost left." When he said that, I at first thought he was like eating one of them.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I was like,
That
Mr. Savage went insane. He killed all the parents, and now he's a cannibal.
I mean,
Is
that
what
would
I
have been
thought.
a choice. That would have been a choice
Yeah,
for sure. Like they could have very well have gone there.
yeah. So they go to the room that all the parents have been in, and it's just filled with zombies, which once again I thought were the parents.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it
Yeah.
was all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he basically throws them to these zombies.
Yeah, and then he locks the door and he starts his song. Um,
Take it away, Charles. Go ahead.
It's just a song about how he's finally free, and you little shit should have listened to me, and you know, nothing's gonna stop me now, and all you little sleazes spread diseases in your infected beds. Youth
You're
is wasted on the
infected,
young,
man.
and now my time is coming along.
It's
You
a
know?
great song.
Yeah, I've been calling you all zombies for years now. Fuck off.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So they're about to die, but there's like the thing that the lunch ladies use for the
Yeah.
school
I don't know what
trays.
that's called, but
Yeah, it's like a conveyor belt but it's not a conveyor belt. I don't remember what it's called either. It's like the little window where you get your fucking food at the
yeah.
lunch.
Yeah, and that's where Anna manages to get in there. And so Steph is going for her keys. They go into this creepily lit classroom.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Um,
And Chris hears Lisa's song, and they enter the storeroom. And I love how at first it looks like Lisa's a zombie.
yeah, it does. It does. I was like, no, they got Lisa. But she's okay, but grandma's dead.
Yeah.
But Chris is happy that at least that she's not one of them, which I did love.
Yeah, he kisses her goodbye. At least she didn't become one of them. And Anna can't find her dad. And now Nick says they're a dream team. And as we're a lot of things, we've never been a team.
Yeah.
And that's when Nick tries to be, hey, that night you stayed at mine, I didn't say nothing to no one. And here's where we find out that Nick and Anna at least had sex.
Yeah.
But he broke her trust. And he asked, what have you ever done that wasn't about yourself? And here's where he reveals that he killed his dad.
Yeah. It like got real serious real quick.
Yeah.
Impressive. What is
And I do love how as he's fighting the zombies, when we cut away, Nick starts his song from before again.
Yeah, he does. And
Yeah.
you think that Nick's gonna be a goner too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's really
yeah,
well
Steph
done.
tells Chris and Lisa to stay behind while she goes get the keys from Savage's office. And Steph crawls on the floor to avoid zombies using the desk as cover. Once again, really wonderfully shot.
It is.
The zombies are distracted by the tinsel.
Yeah, it's so funny. And they're distracted by TV too. I love that.
Yeah, so she rummages through Mr. Savage's his desk and finds vodka. She finds a massive pink vibrator that when she realizes that this is Mr. Savage, she's completely repulsed.
It's so funny. It is
Yeah.
so funny. It was like, I'll take it.
Yeah. So she
Uh-huh.
finds her keys, and Chris and Lisa are waving the tinsel to distract the zombies as Chris, takes the, I don't even know what that tool is called, out of his office. A trowel or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. Oh my God, you just like spoke like a farmer. Congratulations. I'm very
So,
impressed.
but then because they've been using the TV to distract the zombies, the battery finally goes low on Chris's phone.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And, we have this whole scene where, and I like how it doesn't happen right away. It looks like both of them are able to get away, and then both Chris and Lisa get bitten.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's so
Yeah.
sad they both get bitten, but it's like, oh, they were the loves of each other's lives. Because in the beginning, it was like, stop fucking making out. It's not gonna last.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but it's cute.
Yep. And they, they wave goodbye while looking at videos of happier times,
Yeah, I cried during that part too. I was like, why am I crying?
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that part. Like that's where I'm like, this movie actually really. It's funny. I like this movie a lot more in its second viewing than the first.
Yeah, interesting.
I think the
I
first
can't wait to watch
time
it again.
the first time I think I just hated the music so much that it like turned me off to how good a movie that this actually is.
That makes sense. Well, I'm really proud of you for giving it another shot and
Well,
really for having it be on the list and not as like a movie that you don't like. It's
no,
good.
the whole purpose of putting it on here was so I could give it another shot and see if
Yeah.
maybe I would appreciate, because everyone's always telling me how much they love it.
Yeah.
And I was starting to wonder if maybe it was just that. And you know what? Here's the thing. I think number one, it's not my type of music, but it's also, I think I don't think there's enough variety in the type of music in it.
Yeah, we need some blues.
That's the one thing that like if you think about most of the films we've watched, they have very different, oh, Jesus Christ, knock the mic over again.
Monkey over there now? I don't understand.
They have very different types of music for all the songs. Like Sweet Transvestite doesn't sound like Time Warp, which doesn't sound like, Wild and Untamed Thing,
Yeah,
or
no, absolutely. They
or
are very similar.
Herod's song doesn't sound like, I don't know how to love him, like,
Right.
and I think that's the
You
problem
gotta
is
keep
that,
in mind this composer for the most part was like really young too.
yeah, like there's only two songs that don't have that kind of just glee pop thing. And it's, the Santa song. And it's the two songs I love because they don't sound like everything else,
Yeah.
and Mr. Savage's song,
Yeah, I don't think that any of them sound the same, but
Yeah.
that's music theory brain.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, no, they're all very different, Charles. They're very different. I could go on for an hour about how different they are, but I'm not going to because I'm hungry.
Yeah, so at this point, Anna's walking to the auditorium with the cane. The lights turn on. Mr. Savage puts the spotlight on her, and he has her dad tied up in tinsel. And he's like, "The stage is all yours. Why don't you give us a
Christmas
show?"
lights. It reminded me of Demon Hunter.
Yeah. The stage is all yours. Why don't you give us a show? Oh, that episode hasn't aired yet, so we people can't watch that yet. Yeah. I did think of you when she starts quoting Shakespeare a little bit here.
Well, she misquoted Shakespeare. That made me angry. I hate it when people misquote Shakespeare. I know it's a part of the arrangement of the song, but like, just get at least half the couplet right. God, I didn't realize I was such a curmudgeon when it comes to these things. Like Shakespeare and music, I'm like, nope, you're wrong. You're wrong.
And this is a duet between Anna and Mr. Savage,
which is so weird. Like it was like I was like, okay, we're getting this song about her being. Look at the Scooby Doo I got. He's really old, isn't he cute?
Aw.
Yes.
I was on I don't know if you I wrote it on my Facebook, but I was on a set yesterday, in a studio. So when and some people, I'll just explain very briefly when you don't know this. So there's a hallway in the scene I'm in, and there's like 8 doors. And as I said, obviously you know this, but to people who don't work in film, there's nothing behind those 8 doors. Those 8 doors do not lead to rooms. They lead to just this big, like airplane hangar sized studio. And it occurred to me, because there's 8 doors that don't lead anywhere, and you could easily go around them or from any place. I was like, wow, you could actually accurately recreate a Scooby-Doo chase here.
Oh shit! Scoob. Yeah, that's cool.
And for anyone who doesn't know what a Scooby-Doo chase is, it's basically where there's just people going in different doors, then coming out
Nobody
a different
doesn't know what that
door
is.
on the other side, and
I'd be shocked if people don't know what that is. Like, I would actually be pissed off.
But yeah, like it just occurred to me with looking at that. I was like, oh my God, I could 100% do a Scooby-Doo chase here.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, we also have the middle-aged man fight.
Yeah, Savage and the father, whose name I don't remember at all.
Yeah, I had it written down somewhere, but I just kept writing her dad.
Yes, me too, me too. So they fight. That's fun. And Savage winds up crowd surfing into zombies.
Well, he gets hit with the star. He gets hit with the star that he missed before, that missed him before.
Isn't it ironic? Yeah.
So it's like rain on your wedding day. Anyway, so she tells her dad to come because they've got a car, but then her dad shows he's been bitten on the ankle.
Yeah, so sad. Yeah, so he gonna die. And it's like you can tell they finally made up because they were fighting at the beginning of the movie and they're like, Dad, I love you so much, and he dies looking at a photo of her. It makes me sad.
Yeah. And well, but before he dies, Nick comes to go and tell her that they've gotten the car. Yeah. And I do love that her dad is like, you know, I love you, but I'm not crazy about your boyfriend. And that is like,
he's not my boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she says, please, for once in your life, don't argue with me. Yeah.
I love that. That would be me saying that to someone. You know who.
See, that was the thing, is I figured that the dad dying would really hit with you, because I know how close you are to your own dad.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that day's gonna suck.
Yeah, and it's one of the things where I noticed that, you know, as someone who's not close with, you know, either parent, even though my dad was like a friend to me when he was alive, you know, but he was never like a dad, you know, and I was never close to my mom. Right. It's always kind of interesting how most women I know are closer to their dads than their moms.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm closer to. Probably my mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, Anna goes off with Nick, and her dad's last words are "Merry Christmas, Anna."
I know, that got me. That broke me. And we hear a horn blaring. And Steph is there with her car, and she doesn't run over any zombies, and that made me sad.
Oh, wait. Well, let's not. I mean, you're skipping ahead, because.
Am I?
Yes, because there's a whole big thing where you don't see anything from Steph. Steph comes at the last minute.
Oh, you're right.
Because Anna and Nick go outside, and it looks completely hopeless because there are like dozens of zombies coming at them from every direction.
Yes, I was like, oh, they're just going to give up. Cool.
And there's a whole song about looking back on her yesterdays and all her dreams are gone without a chase, you know, and it's a whole song about having all these dreams that don't happen.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really fucking depressing at this point. And even at that, we see Lisa and Chris as zombies. We see, you know, John, you know, as a zombie, like with his fucking, just his innards are all strewn across like the fucking wall.
Yeah, there is just carnage everywhere.
Yeah, that's where we see Anna's dad drop the phone and die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mr. Savage has been literally torn apart at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna, you know, Nick apologizes to Anna. And it starts to snow, and then Steph pulls up in the car with "Boom, saved your life."
Boom, saved your life. Yeah, they escape and they're by the sea, and that's really nice. And Steph asks where to next.
Yeah, and we get the reprise of "No Such Thing as a Hollywood Ending," which has a completely different meaning. Which has a completely different meaning now. You know, and we close with the jump scare of Zombie Santa.
Yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah, and we get a weird animated sequence for the credits with
yeah, it's cute.
Santa being chased by zombies, and you know. So the cast for this was Ella Hunt as Anna, Malcolm Cumming as John, Sarah Swear as Steph, Christopher Leveus as, which I'm sure I pronounced wrong, as Chris, Ben Wiggins as Nick, Mark Benton as her dad, Paul Kaye as Mr. Savage. I wanted to give special thanks to Sarah Dean, the director of photography, which cool. It's always cool to hear a woman is the director of photography, and also how great the fucking cinematography was.
Yeah.
And directed by John McPhail. As I said, originally it was going to be Ryan McHenry, but he unfortunately passed away of bone cancer. And the people that were brought in continued the movie in his honor. And I think but I figured you would like it more than I did upon first viewing.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, and there's a medley during the credits too, where we hear at least one of the songs they cut.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know this one.
Yeah. So this was as I said, shot 2016, came out 2017. Originally the original draft actually had a darker, more cynical tone. And a lot of that they felt was because of McHenry's death. Because it was coming right off, losing their friend whose idea this was.
Makes sense.
And they said, what in the story that we were telling and what ultimately became Ryan's story, finding a way for us to rediscover the joy of it was what I think kept us on target and ultimately created the movie we made now, where it's a little funnier than the original draft.
This movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Roddy Hart was hired to write the film's songs in collaboration with someone named Tommy Riley.
Cool.
And it took 5 weeks to shoot. So principal photography took place over 5 weeks between January 16th and February 22nd in and around Inverclyde near Glasgow, and was shot at St. Stephen's High School at Southfield Avenue, Port Glasgow. Let's say, and they did say that both versions of Dawn of the Dead were inspirations for this. So
good.
Yeah, it was. They said it was inspired by West Side Story, Rocky Horror, The Breakfast Club, Buffy the Vampire Slayer's musical episode. Which was probably the first time I ever saw now every show has a musical episode, but that episode was and Happiness of the Katakoris, which I'm very proud is on there. It's a Japanese film. It will probably eventually be something we cover. It's basically, I'll just tell you the brief story of that. It was remember Ichi the Killer?
Yeah, of course.
So imagine someone were to say to the director of Ichi the Killer, because he was a popular director, we want you to make a holiday film. And so he made a film about a family, and there's zombies in it. There's a woman who dies blowing a sumo. There's just because the sumo has a heart attack on her, when he comes. And so she suffocates on the sumo's weight on top of her.
I want to see it.
And it's a musical. It's a musical entirely in Japanese. And in fact, there's a character in there that is amazing because it's a guy speaking in bad Japanese. Because the joke is that it's just a Japanese guy claiming he's from America. But he's part of the British Royal Navy. Because the joke is that Japanese girls will just go for any guy from America or England. So it's a Japanese guy who's clearly Japanese, but decides he's going to speak in broken Japanese and claim he's from America, but also in the British Royal Navy.
I love you.
All of that makes sense. Like, that's something you would do.
And it's amazing how he just speaks in the worst Jangrish ever. And even like Like at one point when he says yesterday, he says it like the song, where he's like, yesterday. And then the rest of the sentence is in bad Japanese. But it's and I think his name is like Richard Okawa or something like that.
Like, you're not fooling anybody, buddy, oh boy.
Yeah, and like no one is fooled except for the girl who's in love with him in the movie. Because she's like in love with it, like her American boyfriend.
Makes sense.
And it's a musical, as I said. Like there's a whole But what I love about that film is that the songs are all in the heads of characters.
Oh, cool.
Like her first musical number is this big, giant fucking like production about falling in love and everything. And at the end of it, you see her like rolling around on the floor and like mumbling to herself the lyrics. And Richard Okawa's like, are you okay? Ma'am? Ma'am? And
That brings me joy.
yeah, so and they said the crop tops and short scene of the film were inspired by the costume design in Sleepaway Camp with our our good buddy Felicia Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Anna and the Apocalypse.
I loved it so much. I'm sorry, I woke Peanut up. That's how much I loved it.
Are you ready for Repo?
Yes.
Okay, well that's not going to be next week.
I know, you do this every fucking week.
But did we learn any important lessons from this film, Chelsea? Well, while you think about that, Chelsea, tell them how they can get in how people can find
how
you.
am I supposed to think and speak at the same time? You can find me at Chelsea.LeSage on Instagram. Where can they find you?
I can be found at charles.d.lincoln on Instagram and also on Threads, where I am telling incels how pointless their lives are.
You enjoy that, and I get every single fucking notification. I have to turn them off. I have to. Like
it's literally just a like a little thing you do on there.
I don't want to learn anything else today.
You can also contribute to the cause of independent cinema by contributing to my Patreon at patreon.com/CharlesDLincoln, one word.
Yes, and I can send you videos on Cameo. Just look me up.
At Chelsea cameo.com at Chelsea.LeSage.
Yes, but I'm like, just download the fucking app.
Yeah. But yeah, and of course you can find us together
at CL Square Productions on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah, and in fact, on my Patreon, we may have some watch along stuff soon, because there's some movies I have to show Chelsea, and I think we should record them and release them to people who paid to watch them. So, because it seems
feet stuff.
It seems that the watch along stuff is becoming very popular these days. So
it is.
We're gonna jump on the bandwagon. But so Chelsea,
I need to eat something. Tell me.
What lesson did we learn from this film?
I don't know, Charles. That I need to eat.
No, that was not the lesson of the film. Unless you're one of those.
Tell me.
Well, it's very simple. That what we don't need is an education. We don't need no education. So
I would have never guessed that. Okay, thy name is Charles.
So, and really that most people, when you really think about it, are just another brick in the wall, which will be our next film.
I love The Wall so much.
Pink Floyd's The Wall. We've been doing different types of rock operas, musicals. This one, which is really almost like a 2-hour music video at times.
Yeah.
I felt was the next little experiment we should go over.
Yeah.
So, next week will be Pink Floyd's The Wall,
Woohoo!
starring Bob Geldof, of all people, isn't it? Or is
I know,
it David?
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so, all right, people. So we'll see you next time.
Yay!
And just remember, until next time, there's no such thing as the boogeyman. He's not in your closet. All right. So
the boogeyman. Oh, someone just gave me a book called The Boogeyman, and it's Becoming the Boogeyman. It's really good. By Richard Chismar. Read it.
Yeah, I was gonna say people would have thought we would have said there's no such thing as a Hollywood ending, but of course there is, because everything always works out. Alrighty, everyone.
Bye. We'll see you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to checking out the YouTube version of Cinematic Autopsy. We've noticed a lot of you are watching and have not subscribed.
Yeah.
So,
please subscribe.
Yeah, before we begin, it would be wonderful if you guys could click on that little link right there. Right, see where I'm pointing right there, and you'll notice that if you scroll down, you'll see subscribe. So subscribe to us, CL Squared Productions. You'll be able to see our videos, stuff.
We have lots of cool content for you guys. You'll know everything that we're up to in the film world, whether we're talking about it or doing it.
Exactly. So let's give you 5 seconds to subscribe. All right, everyone. We'll see you guys soon.